Clients and contractors, welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and today I just wanted to do a quick video about clients and contractors and just have a chat about the difference between the two. Alright, so first off we'll Google underground mining contractors, and so they're your big companies like Barminco and Burncut and Ruck and Prybar. So this is still when you actually go and work for the company. So you're still a full-time employee of Burncut or Barminco or whoever, but when you go to site there'll be a client, and the client is the person that actually owns the minerals in the ground. So they own the mine. So if we Google Australian mining companies, it gives us a good example of a few owners. And Newcrest Mining, they own Talfa and they also own Cadia, and they get Burncut to do their contracting on both sites, as well as Prybar and a few others. Now South 32 is exactly the same. They've got Cannington, which is a big underground mine in Queensland. They own or operate, but they also bring in contractors as well. And Evolution Mining is a good example of a company that does both as well. They also have their own workforce, but they also bring in contractors. So these guys are the client. Now, why is it important to understand that? Because for whatever reason, the client can turn around at any time and say that they don't want you on site. And unfortunately, we've seen this happen for a few new starters with one of the big contracting companies. There's been a few incidents in the last couple of months where people have been told that they've gotten jobs, then they've been told that they no longer have the job because the client rejected them. Now, it doesn't normally happen, and it's not a really good way of doing things. Sometimes you end up with a difficult client and it happens, but normally if you end up with a difficult client, you put everybody before them before you start doing medicals and all that sort of stuff. For some reason, this contracting company's been doing it the other way around. They've got everybody up, they've put them through medicals and inductions and all that sort of stuff, then only to submit them to the client and being told no. That's not necessarily the way to go about it that I see, but it is going on. And just to let you know where you stand with the client is able to withdraw your accommodation at any time, and what that fundamentally means is that if you're working on a fly-in fly-out site, if they withdraw your accommodation, you technically haven't been sacked, but you've got no way of getting to your job and doing your job. So the contracting company that you work for has grounds to dismiss you, and short of driving up there with a tent and camping outside off the lease and driving in every day, you've got no real way around it. And that's what they do. When the client says they want you off site, you don't have a lot of choice about it. There's no recourse. That's just the way it goes, unfortunately. Now, that's the industry that we're in, and that's the way it works, so that's why I just wanted to talk about it. But like I said, people get confused with contractors and clients. They think the contractors, you're working as a subcontractor. You're not. With all these big contracting companies like McMahon's and Barminco and Prybar, you're a full-time employee working for the contracting company. It's just they're working for the client, and it's that client will have somebody in a position of power, often a superintendent that's a foreman, an ex-foreman or an ex-shift boss, or sometimes even an ex-underground manager, and their job the whole day is to go around and make sure nobody's doing anything wrong. Some people refer to them as the toe cutter when they come to site, because if you get written up by one of those people, then you're not going to be on site for too long. So just make sure that you understand the ramifications of dealing with the client and pissing off somebody that works for the client. That can not go down well either. So you just need to understand the difference between the client and the contractor, and why the client has the ultimate control on who works on their site. So like I said, if you've got any more questions, please send them through, and if you could share this video around and like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.